That moment when you're redoing a video that you just did because your dumb butt forgot a very critical part of the process. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for sticking with me and subscribing and commenting on my previous videos. I see them all. I try to reply when I get a chance. I've been real jammed up lately. You've seen the live stream video of this build back here. This is my 8700K. This is my new gaming rig. I will be doing a video on that at some point here in the near future, but today I want to talk about something that is much more exciting to me, something that I am really interested in getting done and taking care of, and that, my friends, is all this. This is going to be the new computer for my family down in North Carolina. I have been wanting to do this for them since I was down there in the summer, and I saw what kind of computer my niece was using to do some of her art design on. It was very slow, very old, very beat up, and they just needed something that was better, and that's what we're going to do. So today I'm going to go over the parts and talk about some of the choices that were made, and then going to get ahead and start getting this prepared. I will be live streaming this build. So follow me on Twitch, www.twitch.tv/DavyCracker80 to actually see the live stream. Follow me there. Follow me on Twitter, though, because I won't be announcing it right away. I don't know exactly when I'm going to be doing this build. It's not going to be tonight. It's Sunday. It's 8:30. It's just too late to get started on that because there's too much I want to do at once. But we will be doing it soon, so make sure you're following me on Twitter. Like my Facebook page. Follow me on Twitch, and you will get notified when I go live, and you will be able to see this in all of its glory. For now, though, we're going to go over the build. We're going to go over the parts, why I've chosen them, and some of the peripherals that I'm sending along with them. First things first, we're going to be putting this into a Fractal Design Meshify C. I wanted to give them a case that had a little bit of airflow. I wanted to give them something that wasn't obnoxiously large like some of the cases out there. And I just felt like it was a good choice for them. Plus, not a terribly expensive case. This is kind of a budget build, kind of not. It's kind of an intermediate build. I think it's about $1,200 worth of parts that I'm putting into this. But I wanted to do something that wasn't going to take up a lot of space, but would still show off the components since there's going to be some RGB elements in there. And I wanted them to have a little fun with this build because that's kind of what PC building has become in recent years. It's been having more fun. So to get started, it's going to be my first AMD build. This is the Ryzen R5 2600, not the 2600X, just the 2600. It's going to get them the good 6 cores, 12 threads, good performance, decent clock speeds. I should be able to overclock it a little bit. Even more so because I'm going to be using this guy here. This is the Noctua NH-U12S SE AM4. This is the CPU cooler. And it's going to do a much better job than the stock cooler that is in there. For memory, and the reason I'm doing this all over again is because I skipped memory the first time. And of all things to skip, this is what I was waiting for. We have the G-Skill Trident Z white and black kit, not the RGB. This is just the Trident Z in white and black. This is 3200 megahertz. It's going to give them the speed that Ryzen likes for performance. For our motherboard, we have gone with the ASUS ROG Strix X470F gaming motherboard. It's a kind of a middle of the pack motherboard. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's kind of a middle tier board. It's got pretty much all the features though that I wanted. We've got 2 M.2 slots on here. We've got some decent VRMs. It's going to allow the RGB support that I've been wanting to put into this build. The only thing I don't really care for is the fact that it doesn't have a Q code. That's an oversight on my part. I like the Q code. It's much easier to figure out what's wrong with the Q code. But, be that as it may, we move on to the graphics card. Again, we've gone ASUS. This is the Strix GTX 1060. They've got this as the Advanced Edition. I don't know what the hell that means. I'm going to try and overclock the processor and the graphics card, but we'll see. This is going to be perfect for them. 1080p gaming. Don't need to go anything above that. If they want to kind of take a dive into 1440p, they might be able to skirt by a little bit. But I know my 1070 handles 1440p fairly well, and this is a step below that. Don't think they're ever going to go to that level, but they could think about it if they want. But that's going to be the graphics card. I went with ASUS for both because compatibility, ASUS, AuraSync, It'll make it easier to control that. Plus, you know, this guy right here, the Phanteks digital RGB LED strips. I'm going to throw that into the build, give them some flair. For storage, we're going to go with this guy. This is the XPG Gamix S2 or S11, S2. S11, this is an NVMe SSD, so 240 gigs. This is going to go in one of those M.2 slots. Give them really good boot times and really good performance on any programs that they put on that drive. For their primary game storage, though, we're going to give them my old Samsung Evo 850. This is a 500 gigabyte drive. Took it out of my build to give to them. Hopefully, it's only going to be used for small games. Some of these games, 80 to 90, 100 gig files, ridiculous. But for mass storage, we'll go ahead and give them the Seagate Barracuda. This is a 2 terabyte drive, 7,200 RPMs. It'll be pretty good for what they're trying to do as well. For power, we've got here the Corsair Rm 650X. I was going to get them the Rm 550X because I figured they didn't need much more than that, but this was $3 more. So I went with it. Plenty of power, plenty of overhead. If they ever want to go up another slot on the graphics card or anything like that, they'll be plenty fine still. My 850X is my 850 is overkill in my other system. For a little extra flair, though, we've got these here. These are CableMod Pro cables. These are black and white. These will be going into the build as well. That's going to give a little bit extra flair. Does nothing for performance. It's just simply there for looks. And for accessories, we have an ASUS VP247 monitor that I've gone ahead and bought for them. It's just a 1080p monitor. Does 75 hertz. This 1060 should be able to max out the frame rates at that point. So not really worried about going anything above that. I thought about a 144 hertz panel for them, but I would have probably given them my 1070 if I did that. For additional peripherals, though, we've got this. This is the Logitech G203 gaming mouse. Simple mouse, not a whole lot of buttons, not a whole lot of flair. A little bit of RGB accents here with the logo and this trim around it. And we'll do them sufficiently. And then the keyboard is the Logitech G213 Prodigy. It is not mechanical. It is just a simple keyboard, built-in wrist rest, and the customary RGB lighting that I love that Logitech does. It's very clean. It's very simple. And I think that about wraps up the parts that are going to be going into this build. It's going to be a pretty simple build. It's not going to be anything extravagant. It's my first air-cooled build, by the way. We're going with Ryzen. Turn you around. And we're going with an air cooler. So that's the first time I'm dealing with those. I thought about giving them my EVGA CLC, but decided to keep that in case the NZXT Kraken decides to tank on me. If you didn't know, this guy back here, the 8700K, is a custom cooled system. I have a custom water loop in there. I will talk about that in another video, so stay tuned for that. I think, though, that's going to wrap it up because this time I remembered the memory. I'll probably forget something else, but who knows? Whatever. Those are the parts. So hopefully my family enjoys this build. I look forward to building it. Again, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, like my Facebook page, and stay tuned for the live stream announcement. It's going to be at some point during the next week. I just don't know when, but we're going to do it. It'll be on Twitch. If you miss it, I will post it to YouTube like I did with my live stream build. Just be aware that it's going to be super long and not really edited at all. So that's just the way it goes. Thanks again, though, for everybody who has subscribed in the last couple of months. I know I haven't been around much, but I'm going to try and get back on the wagon. I got a new memory card for this camera. We have a battery pack for it now, so I can do longer stretches of videos without having to worry about the battery. And hopefully start doing some more stuff here and there. There's some stuff I want to talk about with this build, and there's some other things that I want to go over. But that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more, make sure you're subscribed. And I will catch you guys in the next one.